Now let us do the next question here. Find the Laplace transform and draw its ROC of the given signal x of t is equal to e raised to minus b mod t. E raised to minus b mod t. Okay. So here, before applying Laplace transform to this question, it is better that you simplify this question. Okay. Here, otherwise it will be very difficult for you to understand the meaning of this power. E raised to minus b mod t. Okay, what this means is that here, if you look carefully at the power, the value of t, irrespective of whether it is negative or positive, must always be positive. That is the meaning of this mod of t. That means whether if the t is negative or whether the t is positive, inside this equation when you substitute it, t must always be positive. That's the meaning of this question. So that means I can just reframe this question, alright, just for easy understanding. That is, this means that x of t is equal to e raised to minus b. Okay, so suppose if I want my t to be suppose t is a negative number. Just assume that t is a negative number. So how can I make a negative number into a positive number? By applying a minus sign in front of the negative number. So by applying a minus sign in front of the negative number, I am converting this negative number into a positive number. Okay, so that means when t is negative, this equation will become x of t is equal to e raised to minus b into minus t. When t is negative. When t is negative. Understood? Okay. And this is also equal to, so suppose if t is positive, then this also remains positive as it is. So it will become e raised to minus b into t when t is positive. See, this is the meaning of that. That means here, in whatever the case, whether t is negative or positive, t must always be positive in this expression. So that means if it's a negative number, I put a minus sign in front of it to make it a positive number, and if it's a positive number, I write the number itself, t itself. Okay, or in other words, this means that x of t is equal to e raised to bt, when t is negative. That means when minus infinity less than t less than 0. Okay, and this is equal to e raised to minus bt when t is positive. That means 0 less than t less than infinity. Okay, this is the expression. This is what this question actually means. Okay, so this is what is better that we substitute this in our Laplace transform equation. So the equation is defined as Laplace of x of t is equal to integral from minus infinity to plus infinity x of t into e raised to minus st dt. Okay, this can also be written as integral minus infinity to plus infinity. Okay, so I think now it's better if I split this term, right? So I'll write from minus infinity to 0. Okay, from minus infinity to 0, the value of x of t is e raised to bt into e raised to minus st dt, right? Plus, and from 0 to infinity, the value of x of t is e raised to minus bt. So from 0 to infinity, it becomes e raised to minus bt into e raised to minus st dt. Okay, so this is also becomes, this will, if now I'm going to combine these two exponential function, minus infinity to 0, e raised to, combine these two, this will become minus of s minus b t dt plus this is integral from 0 to infinity e raised to minus of s plus b t dt. Okay, so now I think this is the best time to find the ROC. Here, as you can see, the value of t is negative. See, it's differing from minus infinity to 0. So the value of t is negative. Okay, and there's already a minus sign over here. So this essentially becomes a positive value. So that means the only way to make this power negative is by making s minus b less than 0, or s minus b must also be negative. That means s minus b must be negative number. Okay, or in other words, the ROC of the first term is sigma minus b must be less than 0. Okay, sigma minus b must be less than 0, or in other words, sigma must be less than b. Sigma must be less than b. Okay, now if you look at the second term, its ROC is, if you see here, t is positive and there's already a minus sign over here. So in order to make this power negative, s plus b must be positive. So s plus b is greater than 0. In other words, the ROC of this expression is defined as sigma plus b must be greater than 0. Or in other words, sigma must be greater than minus b. Okay, so from here itself you can understand what's the overall ROC. The overall ROC is the ROC that satisfies both these conditions. Okay, it is greater than one value, it is less than one value, and greater than the other value. So the overall ROC is between these two values. So that means the ROC of this answer is minus b, which is less than sigma, which is less than plus b. This is the region of convergence of this question. Okay, so now let me continue my problem. So here I'm going to apply integration to these two terms. So this will become minus 1 by s minus b into e raised to minus s minus b t from minus infinity to 0 plus this, apply integration over here, I get minus 1 by s plus b into e raised to minus of s plus b into t from 0 to infinity, okay. So this is also equal to minus 1 by s minus b into, so if I substitute 0, it will become e raised to 0 and minus, as you can see here again, okay, I don't want you all to have any confusion regarding this. If you look very carefully over here, okay, if you look very carefully over here, here it is e raised to minus of s minus b t. So if I substitute t as of minus infinity over here, here s minus b is also negative. See, s minus b is a negative number, okay, so it's less than 0. So this is also a negative, this is negative, so this essentially becomes a positive value. So now if I substitute t is minus infinity, it will become e raised to minus infinity. So this will become e raised to 0. So become e raised to 0 minus e raised to minus infinity, okay, minus 1 by s plus b into e raised to minus infinity minus e raised to 0. Okay, so this will become e raised to 0 is 1 and e raised to minus infinity is 0. This will become minus 1 by s minus b, and this will become 0 minus, so it becomes plus 1 by s plus b. Okay, so now if I cross multiply these two, I will get minus s minus b plus s minus b. By cross multiplying these two, I will get, this is a minus b into a plus b, right? So this is s square minus b square, right? Okay, so now, so the answer is, this s and this s will get cancelled, so the answer is minus 2b by s square minus b square. Okay, or you can also write like this, minus 2b into s plus b into s minus b. Okay, the reason if you write like this, then you can also mark the poles also in the ROC, that's why. All right, so this is your answer. And your ROC is defined as minus B less than sigma less than B. So now I'm going to draw the ROC over here. Sigma JO 0. Okay, so now the ROC is between minus B to plus B. That means minus B means is somewhere in the negative axis and plus B means somewhere in the positive axis, and the distance must be same because the value is the same. So the distance between these two must also be same. So here I mark minus B and here I mark plus B. Okay, so my ROC is anywhere between these two values. That means this is the shaded region is my ROC. Okay, and also you can mark the poles also, right? You can mark the poles. What are my poles? My poles are at here is what, when s plus b is equal to 0, right? When s plus b is equal to 0, so therefore s is equal to minus b. That is the pole of the first term, and the pole of the second term, that is when s minus b is equal to 0, that means s is equal to b, right? So my poles are at s is equal to plus b and minus b, right? So I can mark that also over here. S is equal to minus b and s is equal to plus b, right? So this is my answer. Okay.